Hi, and welcome to what I call the Future in Film, where basically I have picked five of many movies that I have watched to talk about their depictions of the future. Some of these movies, the future that they describe has the year has already been and passed. Others, the majority actually, are set in the future, our future. So the first on the chopping block here is Meet the Robinsons. So if you've never watched this movie, it is a children's movie. It is about a child inventor named Lewis who gets dragged to the future to help stop a man in a bowler hat who stole another time machine. And he spends some time in the future. So this movie was made in 2007. It is set 2037, so it is in our future, 15 years in our future. One of the big things, notable things that you see when they first get to the future is these bubbles that people travel in. Now, this is a very, very cool concept, and I would love to say that in 15 years we would be able to do this because it would be awesome, but we would not. And there is nothing more to say about that. I just really wanted to include that in here because it's bubble transport and it's only ever associated with magic. Um, but obviously, they also do have flying cars. Uh, Somehow, I think, especially in 15 years, with what they've already done with cars, and I'm pretty sure they have done prototypes of flying cars, it is more like cars that hover a few feet above the ground. Like it's not proper flying. Sorry. So the other big thing that I wanted to talk about here on my little shit talking spiel is DOR 15, which is also known as Doris throughout the movie. It is the bowler hat that the bowler hat man is wearing, designed by the by Cornelius Robinson, which is essentially the protagonist grown up as a helping hat. So the helping hat would just help out humanity, and unfortunately got really pissed about being just a helping hat. Yeah. And so she helps the bowler hat man dude to correct the future, and the future turns into what you can see over here, which is a bunch of them have been mass produced and they've enslaved humanity. God, I hope that doesn't happen, and somehow I don't think it will happen that a bunch of hats are going to enslave us all. I do think it is quite a cool idea, especially for a kids' movie. I don't think it'll happen though. But it very much fits into the type of uh, society that they've created in this movie for the future. Alrighty, so next on the chopping block is the sixth day. So the sixth day I originally watched when I was in high school in engineering to look at the technological and advancements, which is why I really wanted to look at it again. So I rewatched the movie and made some notes. So obviously, well, this movie was made in 2000 and it's set in 2015, which that was 7 years ago. So first most notable thing about this movie is that they have cloning. They can clone human beings and they have all of the original's memories up until that point, and then they're a completely different person. And I I feel like it would be dangerous if this happened. To be honest, like they have cloned a sheep, Dolly the sheep, but it is so much more complex with human beings. Obviously, they did not get this right. We are not cloning people. I think it could be a dangerous idea if we cloned people, because we would have people like imagine them having this technology back in World War II. Hitler would have just like, I reckon he would have just cloned himself like a million times over, and the world would pretty much be all Hitler's. And well, that, and it kind of throws off Darwin's whole thing, because everybody would be the same. There would be no genetic mutations or like natural genetic mutations or anything like that. And it would be very, very sad. Uh, so, if another pandemic occurred, like COVID, you could have like most of the planet be cloned people that are not don't have as high tolerance or resistance to COVID, to like the next whatever it is, and pretty much the entire human race dies off, which is not good. Uh, Secondly, that we have automated cars. See, in the movie, it's fully automated. Like they just sit back, they talk. We do have variations of that now. I don't think it was fully in effect in 2015. I think, but even then, they have safety precautions. So you have to take over after a certain amount of time, going over a certain uh, speed, which I think is a good thing, because considering cars are the most deadly form of transport that we have, like more people die in car accidents than they do from any other bit of transport, which most people overlook. Then we have holographic porn. We do not have this. I don't think we need this. Do I think that someone will try to invent it? Probably. I just think it's pointless. Like, why? Why? That's all I have to say is why. I don't think it's gonna happen. All right. So the next one's Divergence and Social Effects. So this movie is essentially, there was people messing around with genetics, and they eventually had a war about it between the people who were genetically tainted and those who were pure, which is essentially what this pear looking thing's doing over here. They were trying to mess with that, and that has carried on to affect the people who are relevant in this movie. By the way, this movie was made in 2014. It is set in 3074. 79. That's well over a millennia away. That picture of the city up there is from the film. In 1,000 years, I do believe that that is quite definitely possible with the way that we are going. Climate change wise, I don't know, heavy topic. But yeah, definitely think that that is something that could happen. Whether I would think that it's something that would definitely happen, I don't think so. It is a possibility though. Another main part of this movie is that they're all in factions. So they are split into a faction that is specific to one thing. So you have like the risky soldiers, you have the truthful people, the really smart people, caring, all that. I think that this could happen in a way. The way that it happens in this movie, definitely not. Okay, so WALL-E. WALL-E. Definitely one of my favorite childhood memory movies, because he's adorable. But essentially, humans created too much trash. They killed off life on Earth. as you can see in that first photo, that is towers, buildings made out of rubbish, because Wall-E is the last of these robots that were created to compact all the rubbish to help clean up the earth. In the meantime, everybody moved on to these ships. Everyone moved on to these ships, where, as you can see, everybody in there is very quite big. This was actually supposed to be a video, but clearly it is not working right now. Which basically takes you through the first scene that you see on this ship, where people they don't walk anywhere. They sit in these chairs. They have screens in front of their faces the entire time. Life is literally brought to them on a platter. I think there are some people that would really enjoy that. I think that with how lazy we're getting with technology, with the benefits of technology, it's easy to imagine, but I don't think it's going to happen. Sorry, I'm rushing because I've only got 15 minutes. So Back to the Future 2. Iconic movie. I still remember when this movie passed. So this movie was made in 1989, and Marty McFly, our cool dude with the hoverboard there, traveled with Doc to 2015. So it has already happened, and I do remember the day that they traveled to. When that came to pass, it was a big deal. But first things, there was a lot of things going on in this movie that was very optimistic for the future for 2015. One being hoverboards. No, we don't have those, and that is very, very upsetting because I do think that those would be cool to have. This little yellow photo down here is so license plates are barcodes. I reckon there'd definitely be benefits to that. We don't have that though. That something to consider. It's a very good idea. So this top one is biometric scanning. So essentially, like finger scanning. Like we get into our phone and like they also have Face ID in the homes as well. It's just become something. We definitely have that. We 100% have that. They got that bang on right, which is pretty cool. Yeah, like, yeah, we do have that. Next, that one down there. So in the movie, they have super correct, up-to-date timed weather reports. So they could tell what it was about. They could tell you when it was going to rain with certainty. We do not have this. I think people in Melbourne would appreciate this because there's like 3 different seasons in one day. It would be really nice to get. It would be really, really nice to get. Unfortunately, we don't have it. If they could, and the weather is nature, and that's very unpredictable, and I don't think we're ever going to have it as much as nice as it would be. Alrighty. So that's only a few things that happen in these movies that can be associated with the future. They aren't the only movies out there. I did watch more, but these were my favourite, and I really wanted to talk about them. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this little, very long video. But yeah, maybe go check them out if you haven't. They're really good.